Mr. Rudy, many congratulations again for the BJP's stunning performance in these elections today. We were just discussing before we went into the break, Mr. Chidambaram's remark that he didn't see this as a referendum on the note ban and that it would be too simplistic to say that this was a vote in favor of demonetization. The Congress's Pawan Khera says if it was in favor of the note ban, then why didn't the BJP win Punjab and Goa and Manipur as well? How would you see how demonetization played out in these elections?
Well, yes, amidst a couple of things, and people in Uttar Pradesh reposed a full confidence, and it's a mandate for the performance of the central government. Why we say so is that we never had a government in Uttar Pradesh for last 2.5 decades. And the people this time, since they did not see a chief minister in Uttar Pradesh of the Bharatiya Janata Party, they trusted the performance of the Prime Minister, his vision, his working style, his commitment for the poor, and all that put together convinced the people of Uttar Pradesh that they should look for a government which runs along with the central government, and that's why they chose to elect the Bharatiya Janata Party in a full majority. When you talk about monetization, I would say yes, it did have an impact, and it did have a tremendous impact both in Uttarakhand and also in Uttar Pradesh. Well, it may not be exactly a correct interpretation, but Punjab has been a different situation. With the very prosperous states like Goa, or for that matter Congress, where the per capita income is much more than compared to Uttar Pradesh or Uttarakhand, or for that matter Bihar. The impact of demonetization, because as you know that more than 72% of the population live in less than $2 a day, and I think a majority comprise states which have not actually taken off, which is Orissa, Bihar and Uttarakhand. So I think that did have an impact, but it has, even during the elections, Mr. Akhilesh and Rahul ji would always talk against the Prime Minister and say that he has cheated the nation. And so it was also an issue where the Prime Minister said, let it be an issue and let the people decide. So this was a very specific discussion during the debate, during the elections, that this debate was on whether it has actually affected the elections. And I think there was an undercurrent in the people who felt that demonetization was absolutely perfect, and it was a big decision, a big and a bold decision on the part of the Prime Minister, and I feel about it very convincingly today.
Well, you also made a point about the repeated attacks on the Prime Minister, and one of the interesting comments that has been made today is whether the opposition's attack has been too negative, whether they've sort of not really come up with any alternative constructive ideas of their own to offer people. Would you say that in a sense the more they attack Mr. Modi, the more he will come out strong?
You see, the people who were attacking him absolutely had lost connect with the people whom they were talking to. And if I recall, in the last 8 months, I have been to several public functions of the Prime Minister where the youngsters and most of the people who came to these large rallies were between the age group of 15 to 35. So there was the Prime Minister on his own, irrespective of that we did not have a government and the situation in Uttar Pradesh was worse, he had a direct connect with the people across the state. And I think that mattered. And whenever these people used to talk against the Prime Minister, there was a feeling that, well, they are trying to belittle the Prime Minister, which actually did not go well the people. This is what I presume. And they kept on. And when Rahul ji has lost track of what is happening in the country, and he's actually clueless most of the time when he's talking against the Prime Minister. Maybe his script writers always fail to understand the psyche of the people when he makes certain comments, which actually most of the time, many a times was undesirable. But he wants to compete, I do not know with whom. But having said so, I would say they were clueless, they connect with the people, there was no connect with the people. And actually the credibility of these organizations, whether as a regional party, Samajwadi Party, or the fraction which was existing there, or for that matter as a national party, the leadership, the credibility was not there.
All right, Mr. Rudy, I just want to take what you just said to Pawan Khera of the Congress, that does it not worry the Congress that actually Mr. Modi seems to connect more with young people today than the so-called young vice president of the Congress party?
It's not the connect which worries. What worries is that we are definitely lagging behind in terms of how to package our message. The packaging lesson we definitely need to learn from also the BJP. They're very good at packaging. Our content is excellent, our message is excellent, our idea is excellent, our ideology is very good. All that we are lagging behind is on the packaging front. There I concede.
Nidhi, I disagree.
Definitely not. Nobody stops. I agree with you. We will
But
get
Aarti
definitely.
doesn't agree. She feels your messaging is
I
not
think you
constructive.
don't have a
By
message
packaging.
anymore.
What do I mean by
Pavan-
packaging? You should
Pavan,
just
you
see
my
Mr. Modi
small
and you'll know what I
submission
mean by
Pavan,
packaging.
you have
Sorry.
lost your message.
My small submission here. What do you mean by packaging? Doing a good work, doing a honest work, taking the nation ahead, being transparent, connecting to the people who are seeing that money flows to the people who deserve it, seeing that the policies act and become deliverables. Is it packaging or it is actual work? You had all these 67, 68 years to package and send it to the people. No one stopped you from
No,
doing
but we
it.
kept
there's a
winning
difference.
elections.
When we
This
did
is not
bank
a-
nationalization,
Sorry,
it was
Mr.
a bank
Rudy.
nationalization. When we talked about connecting people to the bank, we saw that these people who did not have bank accounts, 23 crore people, did actually have. So there is a difference between our packaging is with deliverables. Your packaging was without deliverables, and that is the difference which has made all this difference.
No,
Pavan,
there
I
is.
have
I'm
10
sorry, I
seconds.
need to respond
Yeah.
to this. Just
And I
talking
think
about
packaging,
good work is
talking
packaging.
politics about
Without
packaging
doing
is
the
all
good-
what Congress
actually,
believed. I
if
think
you were doing
packaging
such
is
good
not
work,
the right
Prime
word
Minister
which you
would
should
not
be
have
using
had
on
to resort to Kabristan, Shamshan, Kasab, Khuda and all that. Prime Minister had to resort to this because he realized just talking about development and good work was not working well. So therefore he changed his language.